This video will walk through everything you need to know about groups in a league that occurs through Gallus's events module. So first we're going to take a look at the user experience, all the different possibilities there, and then we're going to walk through how an admin would go about setting groups up in the Gallus Golf Leagues module. So if you're just looking for the admin process, you can skip ahead a little bit. So here we are on the home screen of a Gallus mobile app. You'll see towards the top there's a today's events banner. If I'm an end user, I'm going to tap on that, and that's going to show me all the events that are taking place that particular day. So basically, it's the date of the round, it will appear in this list. So now we've got two different leagues here. They both exemplify a different possibility for what their user flow could be. The first possibility that we will go over is if the league coordinator did not set up groups in the dashboard. So you just left that step empty and you just want them to create their groups on their own. This is definitely the easiest option. So I'm going to hit this Tuesday night league and it will show me a roster of all the players that are participating. So I can scroll through and find my name if I'm looking for it. I can also search at the top if I'd like. I'm just going to scroll down and be Manny Machado today. So this is a team league, so you'll notice that I was automatically paired up with Jake Peavy. If he's the only one that I'm keeping score for, in addition to myself, I can hit confirm and start round after I've selected my starting hole at the top. If I am keeping score for like my entire group, say, maybe this is a league where there's teams of 2 players, but it's a foursome, so I want to keep score for everyone, I can tap select more players. That will give me the roster once again, where I can go through, I can find someone, so maybe I'm keeping score for Will Myers, hit next, and then I can hit confirm and start round. At that point, I'm in the scorecard, I can hit play, and I'm going to get the GPS for each hole, be able to record my strokes, and view the leaderboard. So that's option one. If the admin did not set up groups, we call it self-creating groups because the users are going to be creating their own groups and telling you who they're playing with. Really great for casual leagues. The other option is maybe you're a league coordinator that wants a little bit more control over who's actually participating in that league that week and who's playing with who and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap today's events again. And instead, I'm going to go to this Tuesday afternoon stroke play. That's going to take me to a slightly different flow. So I'm going to go through, maybe I am Justin Herbert today. I'll tap on his name. That's going to tell me, okay, you are playing with these 3 other guys. So if you don't want to keep score for one of them, you can uncheck them if you'd like, and then you hit confirm and start. You notice it's telling you what hole you're starting on. It's really making all the decisions for them. When you hit confirm and start, you're in the scorecard again, and when you hit play, you'll notice that it actually takes them directly to hole 2, which is the hole that they're starting on. So this method is much better for players or for league coordinators that would really like the maximum amount of control over the user experience. So with all that being said, let's take a look in an event dashboard and talk through some different possibilities. Now, the first one that I went over, the self-creating groups flow, that one's pretty simple to talk through because all you're going to do is just leave the groups empty. So you don't even have to touch the step at all. So that's how that one works. If you actually do want to set up your groups on your own, you can hit this groups tab, which will take you to the groups page. You'll notice this one already has some groups predefined for the first 2 rounds. I can control which round I'm editing through this drop down that's at the top left. So I'm going to go to round 3 here. This one, I do not have any groups set up, so I have a couple different options for it. Number one, I get to add a group manually. So if I wanted to just hit add group, I can choose which hole number they're on, hit add. That will create right down here. And if I wanted to select existing players, I could, of course, just search for them. So maybe I wanted Herbert to be in this group. I could add him in. I could add Drew Brees. You wait for this little drop down to come and you hit add. And then you'll notice, like if I set up multiple groups here, so maybe this one I want to actually have with Antonio Gates. Maybe I change my mind. I go, oh, you know what? Actually, Drew Brees wants to play with Antonio Gates. He's got a better connection with him. I can actually just drag and drop him, and then that will adjust automatically. One other thing with this manual entry that you probably noticed is if you hit add player, it will let you add a player from scratch too. So if you're going through this process, or even if you use the auto generate option that I'm going to talk about in a second, you can always come in here and add like a completely new league player on this page as well. So that's the perfect segue into auto generation. So if I wanted to just straight up auto generate my groups, like I don't really want to have to go through one by one and do it, I could choose this option. Now, one thing you'll notice is if you did this previously, or even if you manually inputted groups in a previous round, you can just duplicate the groups from the previous round just to keep it nice and simple. That's one option. If you want to do this from scratch, though, you can select your start type, whether shotgun or tee time. We'll go through the shotgun options first. For shotgun, you're going to select how many players are in each group. If it's a team scoring format, you would select how many teams are in each group. The maximum number of groups per hole, so like A, B, and C groups is how a lot of people know it. And then your starting positions translate directly into those A, B, and C groups. So what you would use this for is like maybe hole 5 is a par 3. So you only want one group that's starting off from that hole. So you can uncheck the B group and it will only put one group on hole 5 to start. But as I mentioned, you could do as many as 3 groups, A, B, and C groups if you wanted, and then you could uncheck like multiple and that sort of thing as well. The grouping preference can be by a number of different options. So this would be like last name, when the player was added, their handicap, if you either are using our Gen integration or have manually inputted handicaps. Score from a previous round can also be used, or if you just want to keep it random, you can also do just a random generation. And finally, the order would control whether it's like if you're doing by last name, whether it's ascending or descending. To go over the options for a tee time start, they're mainly the same, although you, after choosing how many players or teams per group, you are then choosing how many minutes you would like between groups. If you wanted like have different or maybe alternating minutes per groups, like maybe you wanted to do 7 minutes per between groups 1 and 2, and then 8 between 2 and 3, something like that, you can put a comma in and then you can put the next number in, and then it will alternate in that fashion. Same goes for starting holes. If you're doing a front and back start, what you can do is you can, again, put a comma in and put 10, and then that will split them for the starting holes if you'd like. And then the grouping preferences options are, of course, the same. So I'm going to go back to our shotgun start. You see that it actually did keep my options. I'm going to go down to AB groups, and then I'm going to generate. It will take a second to generate, but you'll notice this is all there. You can go through and you can confirm that everything's correct. And if you want, again, like I mentioned before, to change some things, you can drag and drop people to different groups. Another thing just to mention on this screen are cart pairings. It even says it right here. If you click, it'll give you a little tooltip. But the gist is cart pairings mainly affect the cart sign print material export. Because each cart sign print material we'll have two to a page, but then it's going to, of course, pair two players on one and two players on the other. The order for that is from the top. So Keenan Allen and Joey Bosa would be paired in a cart, and Drew Brees and Antonio Cromartie would be paired in the second cart. So if you want to like keep offensive players together here, you can drag Drew Brees up, and now he's paired with Keenan Allen, and then Bosa and Cromartie are paired together. Um, in a team scoring format situation, what you would do is go to the teams tab and you would change the order of the players in the team, and that would control their card pairing there. So, just to wrap up here, two different options for groups. You could either just not input them at all and allow the players to go through a self-creating groups flow, or you could predefine the groups through the group step, and that will make all the decisions for the players within the app on the day of the league round, make it super easy for them, maybe a little more work for you, but a little more control too. So you've got some options here. Hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions or need some assistance, there's a number of ways you can get in touch with us. You're probably watching this video through our knowledge base right now at support.gallusgolf.com. You can always check all those documents out for a bunch of documentation. If you want to call us and talk to someone, you can call 888-426-8124, extension 2. Or you could email us at support@gallusgolf.com. One additional option that we have for you is you can access a chat box to the bottom left or bottom right hand corner of any screen with a gallusgolf.com domain. So lots of options there. Thanks so much for watching this video. Best of luck with your league, and hope you have a great rest of your day.